Let's get Matthew 7:1 and 2. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Glad for each and every one out. The lesson today comes from the book of Judges, 13th chapters. One thing we need to remember is these is not men and women that was using their judgment. It was God using these men and women to cast judgment on their people.
Yep.
We're not talking about Judge Wapner or Judge Judy, but you know that we have judges and a judicial system today that's necessary. And if you look and really get down and study all the laws of this land, almost all of them extends from the Ten Commandments. Without the commandments, we wouldn't have no society. Without some kind of law, some kind of governing body, we wouldn't have no society. We couldn't have a society. If men and women and people do anything they want with no law.
What about Ronnie's speed limit on the highway? What would it be?
No speed limit? Well, you would be too dangerous to drive on.
The Autobahn.
But I think it's interesting, like Richard brought up this morning, that people said we let anybody in this church that wants to come. Well, sure. Yeah. We have, that door is wide open. We welcome anybody here.
That's right.
Let us in to.
That's right. You know, go ahead and read that, Rick. What's Jesus say about the judgment, being a judge?
Judge not, that ye be not judged.
Go ahead in the second verse too.
For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. And with what measure ye mete, it shall be measured to you again.
My.
So what judgment you cast out is going to be returned to you. So I'm thankful that the final judgment, or my life is in the judgment of God's hands. You know, to cast a true judgment, people has to gather all the facts here.
That's right. Yeah.
To make a good, sound decision, you got to know all the facts. Not what just, you know, our judges today, they get what this person says and what that person says, and they try to sort it all out. But our judge, the great judge, he knows it all anyway.
Sure he does.
He knows everything that happened, and he knows the intent of your heart. But our lesson today is Book of Judges, and this was a period of time when Israel, like Gary taught last week, went over into Promised Land, across Jordan, but they didn't live happily ever after. And we can criticize the children of Israel. You know, it's easy to sit back and say, well, you know, how can they? It's a period of time for about 300 or 400 years that it's just one relapse after another, that God would raise up one of these judges, as you call it. You know, really they was military heroes or deliverers. You know, that God would raise one up and deliver their nation. But then it would last a few years, and right back they would rebel back against God and worship other gods. And we sit and we think, well, how in the world could these people watch God separate Jordan River, heap it up, and watch him do all these miraculous things, and then turn and worship another God? How can they? We read and they made them make images, you know. That's what's wrong with us today. A lot of times we don't want to go on faith, we want to go on sight.
Right, you're right.
And these
One
people,
day we're hot, the next day we're cold.
these people wanted something they could see, touch, feel,
Absolutely, yes.
to worship.
Something they can control.
Yeah. But, you know, we look back and say, wow, these people, but the same thing goes on today, folks. There's different circumstances, different things.
Yeah, right.
Richard can tell you, and people that's been in this church, and all churches is the same. Many people will get a miracle in their life. Great miracle. Get healed. Cancer. Get healed. About to die, God saved their life.
Yeah.
You don't see it. There's a lot of them here you don't see in this church house today. They forgot that miracle or forgot that miraculous work
Yeah.
that God did for them at the time. And they went back and served Satan. They said, well, they're not serving Satan. Oh, yeah, they are. If you're not serving God, you're serving Satan.
That's right.
Yep, one or the other.
You can't serve, you can't have two masters. You either serve one or the other, Lord.
Hot or cold.
So we look today and we say, well, the people of Israel, you know, there's people today in the United States of America that has college educations and all the education in the world, and the same thing happens today. They watch these miracles of God, but yet turn their back against God. We'll go ahead and this today is dealing with Samson's mom and dad. Samson was the 13th judge. During this period, there was 15 judges, 15 different judges. There's a period between the death of Joshua up until the first king. You know, we went through all, if you read all this, you go through these book of Judges, the 15 different judges and the 15 different times and things going on. It went all the way up to where Samuel, and then the people started crying out to God, we want a king. Give us a king like the other nations. So, and this is the period between the first and to the 15th judge, and like I say, Samson is the 13th judge of the thing. But we'll read the lesson here. It says, and the children of Israel did evil again. Like we said, it was over. It was a continuous thing, off and on. It said, the children of Israel did evil again in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord delivered them into the hands of the Philistines for 40 years. And there was a certain man of Zorah, of the family of the Danites, whose name was Manoah, and his wife was barren, and bare not, didn't have any children. It said, an angel of the Lord appeared unto the woman and said unto her, behold, now thou art barren, and bearest not, but thou shalt conceive and bear a son. And therefore beware, I pray thee, and drink not wine or strong drink, nor eat anything, any unclean thing. For lo, thou shalt conceive and bear a son, and no razor shall come upon his head, for the child shall be a Nazarite unto God, for whom we shall begin to deliver Israel out of the hands of the Philistines. And then the woman came to her husband, saying, a man of God came unto me, and his countenance was like the countenance of an angel of God. Very terrible, but I asked him not whence he was, neither told me his name. But he said unto me, behold, thou shalt conceive and bear a son. Then Manoah entreated with the Lord, saying, O my Lord, let this man which thou didst send come again unto us, and teach us what we shall do unto the child that shall be born. And God hearkened unto his voice, and Manoah, unto the voice of Manoah, and the angel of God came again to the woman, as she sat in the field, but Manoah, her husband, was not with her. And the woman made haste and ran, and shewed her husband, and said unto him, behold, the man that appeared unto me, that came unto me the other day. And Manoah rose and went with his wife, and came to the man, and said unto him, art thou the man that speakest unto the woman? And he said, I am. And Manoah said, now let thy words come to pass. How shall we order the child And how shall we